Hello everyone, you are all welcome to lecture number 957, and today's topic is the physical properties of rubber. I am already discussing the properties of rubber, and now I will be discussing first the physical properties of rubber, and in the second segment I will be discussing the chemical properties of rubber. So, physical property of natural rubber is that it is amorphous, solid, and the white latex is sticky and highly viscous, brownish to white in color. It is totally insoluble in water, methanol, acetone, but it is soluble in petrol, benzene, turpentine oil, and this natural rubber is not very much elastic. It is very soft, and once it is vulcanized, it will be more elastic. And if the sulfur percentage is more than 30 or up to 40%, then it is very hard and its tensile strength will be more, it will be tough, and the natural rubber is sensitive to temperature, and we cannot use it above 40 degrees centigrade temperature unless it is vulcanized. Once it is vulcanized, then we can use even from 60 degrees centigrade to 100 degrees centigrade temperature, and its specific gravity of natural rubber is 0.950, and once the natural rubber, its specific gravity is 502, and once it is vulcanized, then its specific gravity is 904. So it is resilience means once some force or some stress is applied to it, it will be deformed, it will be D-shaped, but once that force or that pressure or stress is removed, it can come to its original position. So these are all the physical properties, and I will be comparing the physical property of natural rubber and vulcanized rubber. Vulcanized rubber means its properties are drastically changed, quality is improved, solubility in different solvent is improved, even the solubility of the rubber in water, the natural rubber is soluble little bit in other organic solvents, but once it is vulcanized, it improves its solubility and absorption of water also. Natural rubber absorbs water, but once it is vulcanized, the absorption of water is drastically reduced. So all these factors I am going to give one by one. So here I have given some important physical properties of natural rubber as well as vulcanized rubber and their comparison of their strength, elasticity, specific gravity, or how they are different. The natural rubber as well as vulcanized rubber. So, number one, natural rubber is an amorphous solid, insoluble in water, acetone and methanol, but soluble in turpentine oil, petrol, ether, carbon disulfide and benzene. Number two, the color of freshly coagulated rubber is brownish to white. It is elastic and elasticity increases after vulcanization. However, it becomes a hard solid substance called ebonite when vulcanized with 30 to 40% sulfur. Number 3, natural rubber swells up by impregnating the solvent in which it is soluble and then forms a viscous and sticky solution. Vulcanized rubber is, however, insoluble in most of the solvents and swells up to only in ether, petrol, and turpentine oil. The vulcanized rubber is highly elastic and is not very sensitive to temperature, to change of temperature, whereas the natural rubber is very sensitive to temperature change. Vulcanized rubber is an excellent electrical insulator and has high tensile strength. In grading of rubber, and they are tear resistance. Once we are going to grade the rubber, its quality to determine, then we have to check these physical properties. So one is that is tear resistance, you cannot tear it very easily. Second, tensile strength means the natural rubber is having tensile strength of, I have already told you that 200 kilogram per square centimeter. Once it is vulcanized, it will be 2000 kilogram per square centimeter. So that is the tensile strength we have to see. Then hardness. Once good quantity of sulfur is added, that is, it may be more than 30%, then it will become very hard. That is called ebonite. That is hardness. Then resilience to aversion, and once it is stressed under stress or force, it can stress, but once that stress or force is removed, it can come down to its original shape. It can be D-shaped and can be reshaped, and it can come to its original position. Aging, you have to check the aging. Once it is properly vulcanized, the age of the rubber is increased. There will not be cracking or breaking up rubber very quickly in presence of air, oxygen, ozone or temperature. Then reactivity with oxygen, it will not be reactive to oxygen and also to ozone, that is O2 and O3. Then resistant to oil, it will be resistant to oil, to fat and solvent, and also resistance to elasticity. So number 4, I have given the comparison of natural rubber and vulcanized rubber. The properties of natural rubber and vulcanized rubber, that is, physical properties. So the properties mentioned here, natural rubber and vulcanized rubber. So what are the differences? Number 1, tensile strength. So the tensile strength of natural rubber is 200 kilogram per centimeter square. Once it is vulcanized, so the vulcanized rubber tensile strength is 2000 kilogram per square centimeter. Number 2, the percentage of elongation of natural rubber is 1200 and of vulcanized rubber is 800. Number 3, rapidity of retraction, how rapid it is. So in natural rubber it is good, but in vulcanized rubber it is very good, or we can say excellent. Number 4, water absorption capacity. So the water absorption capacity of natural rubber is large. it can absorb large amount of water, while in the case of vulcanized rubber, it is very, very small. That's why it is a very, after the vulcanization, it's a very important physical property that it is drastically reduce the absorption of water in vulcanized rubber. Number 5, tackiness means stickiness. More in the case of natural rubber, and it is very, very small in the case of vulcanized rubber. It will not be that much sticky. And number 7, chemical resistance is very poor. Even oxidation may take place, ozone can attack, atmosphere and heat, temperature, they all can, it cannot resist all these chemical temperature conditions. So it means it is very poor chemical resistance, but once it is vulcanized, it is excellent. Then number 8, elasticity. The natural rubber or raw rubber have high elasticity, that is 300 to 1000%, and vulcanized rubber is low. Number 9, swelling in organic solvents. How much it swells once it is in turpentine oil, petroleum or benzene. The natural rubber is soluble, and the vulcanized rubber is large but limited. It has limited swelling. Number 10, resistance to oxidation, very much lower, means it cannot resist the oxidation in presence of oxygen and ozone, but it is much higher, it can resist. In addition to all the above physical properties, gas permeability is also an important property which is useful in deciding the suitability of rubber for use in automobile tires and tubes. The specific gravity of natural raw rubber is at 0 degree centigrade is 0.950 and 0.934 at 20 degree centigrade. The coefficient of cubical thermal expansion is 670 to 10 to the power minus 6. Heat is produced as a result of extension of rubber. When rubber is stretched to 82%, then 680 calorie per gram of heat is produced, and that process is called Joule's effect. So with this I will stop, and in the next lecture I am going to discuss the chemical properties of rubber, and that is very interesting because rubber can be deformed, can be molded, can be manipulated chemically, maybe in solid form, maybe in oily form, maybe in dust form. So many different type of chemical properties are there, and which are very much useful to use for different purposes. And nowadays rubber is the part of our civilization or lifestyle, with rubber and its vulcanization and plastic nature chemically is having lot of importance in our daily life and domestic purposes. So once again, thank you very much for watching the lecture.